Hi, it's Melissa here. Happy New Year. Excited to be back with you on the Scrappery channel again today. Today I am making another layout with the beautiful Lilly Kit featuring the Make-A-Wish collection by Coco Vanilla Studio. And what's really exciting about this layout today is that it's my first layout of my new baby girl. She is 6 weeks today, but this is a photo that I took last week. I take a photo every week. I've done it with my previous daughter as well, and I post them to Instagram, and that way I can go back and look at the changes. And I record any milestones or anything they're doing on there as well. So this is a photo I took of her last week at 5 weeks old. I just put her out in the grass. We had some daisies on the lawn, and my son hadn't mowed the lawn, so I thought perfect opportunity to take a photo. So this is an unusual page for me. It is a page that you'll hardly ever see me make. It has no journaling, and that's because it's the cover page to her album. So this is officially the first page I've scrapped about Ava. So what I have there is a cut file from the cut shop. It reminds me of a wreath, or it looks like a big flower, but it comes in a set of 4. I'll link it below. And I just needed a wreath because when I looked at the bits and pieces that came in this kit, I just loved all the vellum flowers, and there are also some cardstock flowers, and so I had an idea of making a wreath for Ava's first page. And I love it because there are daisies in the photo and there's flowers on her little outfit as well. So what I did was I worked out where I wanted to position the wreath on my page, and I just used a pencil to mark where it went as well as where the photo went. And now I realised that I needed some pattern paper behind my photo just to provide some separation between the white, because the background of my page is white and the wreath is also white. So I just grabbed this piece of pink that I had left over, and I thought it was perfect because it's a very girly page and it just goes really well with my photo. So I've had a bit of trouble with my trimmer. I had purchased the wrong blades for it, but they're not exactly cheap here in New Zealand, so I wanted to use them anyway, so that's why I just had to trim it up with my little guillotine trimmer. So here's a doily, and it comes from one of the Pretty Little Pieces kits that come in each of the main kits, so the main kit and the Pretty Little Kit, pocket scrapbooking kit, and I just placed it behind my photo. I love adding doilies, especially on girly pages. So now I am placing down some cardstock flowers, and at first I thought I'd use both them and the vellum flowers, but in the end, because I wanted to stitch, I've decided to go with the vellum flowers because I love the fact that they're translucent and very delicate. And what you have to do is, what I had to was press out all the little open pieces that come on some of them, so you can see some of the leaves and some of the flowers have open pieces. So I did that off camera, and now I'm just placing my photo to make sure I position all these flowers in the right place. So I'm happy with that. And then I just used a tiny drop of Tombow just behind in the center of each flower and on the stem of all the leaves. And I've super sped this up because it's not that exciting. But my plan is to machine stitch all these flowers down on every part of that wreath. So that's why I'm just using a tiny bit of liquid adhesive. I looked at putting that sweet vellum piece down, but it didn't work. And as you can see, I've just pulled out the bits that I wanted ahead of time. So there's also some tiny little vellum flowers and some butterflies as well. And I'm just gluing them down too. And they will also get stitched through when I come to machine stitch. So it definitely speeds up the process if you're making a video, if you select ahead the pieces that you want to use. This is a vellum tag, and I knew I wanted to use that. I just wanted to provide some more interest and clustering behind my photo. And so I'm just going to place it here on the side, and the quickest way is just to glue it with some more liquid adhesive. This is it's like I guess it's like a thick crochet twine. It's from Stampin' Up. It's from my stash, and I just always have it handy because I can't leave a tag without adding some twine. that's a little ephemera ticket, and because it's pink I just thought it added a bit more interest. This is a very left-heavy layout with the wreath, so I needed to add something on the right to balance it. And this little piece of ephemera, I think it says date recorded or date, and so I'm just doing a fake staple on the side I can't reach, and then I'll just glue it down, and later on I will add the date. So I'd almost forgotten about these puffy stickers, and I like them because they are a really solid puffy sticker. And I just found this little tab one that says sweet, and I just tucked it under my photo and layered it over my tag. Now I'm adding a piece of wood veneer, and it's a banner, and it says Dream Big, which I thought was perfect for Ava's very first page. So off camera I took this away to my sewing machine and I stitched every piece of the white wreath. So there's no piece that's visible that doesn't have stitching. So I'm really happy with how it turned out, and it's another way to secure the vellum flowers and add some extra texture. So now I'm so glad I did trace where I wanted it to go, but I will change my mind about position, and you'll see that soon. So I was going to use that bow. It's glittery and pink, and I did think about placing it in the position you see now, but in the end I won't end up using it. I did get some of these hearts, and that's a little piece of chipboard. I think it says love or lovely, and I'm just adding the final little bits and pieces of the ephemera to this wreath. And the kit, I think it's the main kit, it comes with this set of beautiful bits and pieces, and it included some rhinestones, so I've glued them down. And I'm still fussing with this bow, wanting to use it. Originally I had put it where the wood veneer piece was, but I totally forgot. And looking at this now, I quite like where it is there. And I'm also playing around with the position of the title of the page. So at this point, this is where I realised that I don't want it in the position where I'd originally placed it. So I rubbed out the lines, and now it's time to adhere my photo cluster to the wreath. So I just painted over with the glue and just pushed it on, which I guess could have been a bit risky in terms of getting glue on the underside paper, but it was fine. Now I'm using my mat. I forgot to say that I'm using that so that everything doesn't get lost in the white background of my table, and I'm using some craft foam or fun foam just to provide some dimension. And what you'll see is me putting it on the back of the photo, but I actually put it behind the entire wreath as well because I want the whole thing to just lift up off the page. So I'm adding this hot pink flower, resin flower, and you get some of these in the pretty little pieces, but you also get them in the Make-A-Wish. I can't remember what the pack's called, but it's got sequins, flowers, some tags, it's got the gems and a few other things, a doily in there as well. So now I've sped this up significantly because sticking down sequins and enamel dots is not that interesting. So that's why I don't want to cut it out completely, but at this point I wanted to add that pink tassel that you can see, and so I just removed the twine that I'd already put in that tag. And while I'm thinking about how I'm going to do that, attach it, the tassel, I want to hang it off that tag, I'm just adding a few more sequins, so that's what I'm doing. And here I am adding this tassel, and so I just hung it off the string, and then I needed to work out how to tie it onto the hole or onto the tag, and it's kind of odd the way I did it really, and I ended up with two pieces that are just hanging off the edge, and off camera I will cut them off because they look a bit odd. Did think about tying them into a bow, but I think they're just better. Oh no, so I trimmed them and I thought they would be okay, but they do look a bit strange. So with her name, I cut her name out again on my silhouette, but with the same pink pattern paper that I've backed my photo with. And at first I thought about offsetting it and having it bigger so that you had the pink as an outline, but then for some reason my silhouette wouldn't offset, so I just cut it the same, and my first thought was I'll do away with the white and just have the pink. But then when I placed it over the top of the pink, I offset it myself, and I quite like the way that looked. So I've glued the white one down with some more Tombow, and now I am using some tiny little pop dots just to pop it up and provide some shadow and a bit more dimension. I love how this turned out, and I'll definitely do it again. I cut out me obviously sticking down all the dimension because I had to trim up some to get it into the small thin pieces of that cut file. And that cut file, I just designed that myself in Silhouette Studio with one of the fonts that comes in the design package. So now I'm adding some more of the vellum, and I put the blue one in the middle, and at first I thought, oh no, I probably shouldn't have done that because I haven't got much else that's floating in the middle. So in order to balance it, I've just added another sequin. And I didn't want to overdo it. What I added is enough. And that is the final page. So I hope you enjoyed this very special page for my daughter for the first page of her album. I've got some close-ups now, and I will be back again very soon. I hope you're having an awesome New Year's. Take care.